We're
Okay.
here with Marc Storace of KROKUS, lead singer. And Marc, we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff today. But first, let's talk about this new album that you've put out, Long Stick Goes Boom, live from the House of Rasta. Nice live
Yep.
album. Let's
Yep.
what's
That's the new one.
what's the story behind the live album?
Well, we wanted to capture one of our live concerts uh, because Crocus has had a reputation over the years, over the decades, of being a kick-ass live band. So, and plus, we're for the first time in Crocus history, we have three guitar players, a rhythm guitarist and two lead guitarists. So, which makes us a six-piece band for the first time in Crocus history, and we decided we want to get that down on record for posterity, for generations to come.
Yeah. You know the one thing that I've noticed because being over in North America, one of your biggest hits obviously was the sweet cover Ballroom Blitz. It's not included on this set, and it appears to me that as though you've stopped playing it over the years. Why is that?
Well, yeah, it's sometimes it's difficult to satisfy everybody's needs,
Right.
and we somehow had to keep it down to it's usually 1.5 hours to 2 hours at the most that we're on stage rocking, and we play our favorite covers. So American Woman is our staple diet. It's a song written by Canadian band Guess Who,
Yeah.
and
Great band.
it and it charted in the USA. And I mean, we had also recorded Alice Cooper's "School's Out,"
Yeah. Back in
which
1986.
yeah, and that was the only single which ever charted in the USA for Crocus, and we still don't play that anymore either. So it's really nothing to do, nothing against the song itself. We still like Ballroom Blitz, and School's Out, but we prefer to play. We find it fits. It's more fitting to our collection of what we have right now on our live repertoire
Yeah.
to play American Woman, and
Plus
so
Canadians do
so
it better.
sorry.
I said plus Canadians do it better. It's much better to do a Canadian song.
Well, we also did two other Canadian songs actually, and we always chose from the same composers. We did "Stay Awake All Night,"
Right.
and we did "You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet," which had Bert Cummings and people from the Guess Who and Bachman,
Turner.
Randy Bachman. So there's Canadian content, and it helped to make us very popular in Canada. Actually, we got lots of radio play thanks to those
Awesome.
covers,
Huh?
which our main goal when we covered a song was to put our creativity into it and our character, and I guess we did a good job of that too.
Yeah.
I take the freedom to say.
Yeah, you really did. Since you mentioned Schools Out, let me just bring you back to that year, 1986, the album Change of Address.
Yeah.
It comes out in the States and in Canada, and at the time, you've got your Bon Jovis, your Def Leppards, your Poisons, they're all over MTV, and yet Change of Address didn't sell as well as I'm assuming the band and the record company would have hoped. What happened there? Why did MTV and sort of the American public not embrace it the way it should have?
Well, it was actually because our hardcore fans
Yeah.
were slightly disappointed that we came out with an album like Change of Address, because the production was so too polished.
Okay.
You know, and they were not used to that from Krokus. But the songs themselves, you know, were pretty good.
Yeah.
They just needed to remain as raw as when we had recorded them as demos before going into the studio.
Was that a record company decision to make them nice and slick for radio?
Well, yeah. I mean, because in 1983 we had Def Leppard, together with Def Leppard as headliner. We went out as special guests, and we had the Headhunter album out, which was the most metal album Krokus ever released so far. It's the best-selling album Krokus ever released so far.
Yeah, great album.
With the biggest ballad, "Screaming in the Night,"
right,
that we ever released so far, and we charted in the Billboard charts, on the album charts at around 24, number 24.
Right.
And the Def Leppard and Krokus tour in 1983 was the biggest sold-out tour in the USA. It was down on record.
Yeah, absolutely. And Pyromania had gone crazy for them.
They were selling like chocolates. I mean, they were only second best sellers to Michael Jackson, who was number one, and they were a little bit pissed off that they didn't make it to number one because of Michael being in the way. But we, on the other hand, were as happy as pigs in shit at number 24, you know, because there have never, ever been a band from Switzerland or from Malta, where I come from originally, that ever reached even the top 100 in the USA. So we were happy. And, but then, you know, the record company comes in and starts to, you know, we start hearing this, that, and the other about softening up our image and making us more, you know, like less
fluffy,
wild-looking, less raunchy, less biker-like, and so on and so forth, in order to sell more. So instead of selling, going platinum, they were saying, yeah, you go double, triple platinum next time, you know. So, and that's when Chris left.
Yeah.
Because Chris was not so, yeah.
He was not so into that. No, it's just because I remember, you know, I was back in 82, 83, I was 14, 15 years old, and between Much Music and MTV and radio, you know, Ballroom Blitz was everywhere, Screaming in the Night was everywhere, all these songs were everywhere. And then as we got to 1988, 89, I was like, well, where'd the band go? Where are they? What happened? And
well, we came back after Change of Address. We came back with Heart Attack. And that was the last one. And then I left the band. We all left the band.
Yeah.
We decided to take a hiatus, and you know, so we all went in different directions. But you know, when you look back objectively, you know, after all these years, the band had was long due of a rest, like taking a whole year off, half a year off, compared to the 1 month off that we had since 1979. That's when I joined the band. We released Metal Rendezvous in 1980. It went straight to the top here and made an echo as far as the USA. Then we, you know, signed up to Arista New York. We changed management and so on and so forth until Headhunter, and then the big change in style and image. and the revamp of Heart Attack, and so it was like we needed a break, because how many times can you be like a hamster in a wheel, doing the rounds, doing the long tours. Tours in the USA and Canada started at 3 months and went up to 9 months a year. And after all, we're only flesh and blood, and when you take a break, you can see things back in the right objective,
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's one thing we all needed. So when we split, it was high time.
And then eventually, you left the band, as you said, and you come back, and then you look at some of the success you've had. 2003, Rock the Block goes gold in Switzerland. Hellraiser in 2006 is gold. Hoodoo in 2010 is platinum. Last year's Dirty Dynamite goes to #1 in Switzerland, and it charts in other countries. But
that's amazing, because you get older, but when we got together, our goal was not to become a nostalgic act.
Right.
We wanted to produce quality. We wanted to come back and said, if we're going to go into the studio, if we're going to do a new CD, then it's got to go on from where we left off. And where was our highest point? It was Headhunter, and Heart Attack wasn't bad. And before that, our best albums were One Vice at a Time, Hardware, Metal Rendezvous. So we wanted to go back to this era, because even because of the having the original band members back in KROKUS since 2008.
Yeah.
So when we got back together and decided to do a new album, we said we want to go with good songs again, songs which stand on their own feet, and push forward with new material which has quality, not nostalgia. And as you said, it was a miracle, and we managed to get back on our feet, and not only that, go platinum again, and go back on tour, and we're having fun, and in retrospect, we're even enjoying ourselves more than we did before, when we had all those differences happening, between the band members, etc.
So that brings me to two questions then. What are the plans for new studio music? 2013 was just last year. Are you thinking of something for this year, or working on something for next year?
Well, no, so far, now we've reached a point where we take things step by step. I mean, first of all, you got to be lucky nowadays that we're still back together. We're healthy, and we've produced what we did so far. Dirty Dynamite, Hoodoo, and good albums. And we're happy that we managed to record such a great live album now. I mean, we're totally excited about our new baby. I mean, Long Stick Goes Boom, live from the House of Rust, was not just a fluke. There was lots of hard work behind it. We're a band that loves to rehearse. We enjoy rehearsing. We even during the last tour last year, during the Dirty Dynamite tour, we recorded about 20 different concerts before deciding to go for the very final one, because the final concert was so exciting.
Right.
It had that this is the finale feeling in it.
The energy and stuff.
Exactly, and the emotion of playing the last day on tour the whole fun of it and the emotion of shit, it's the last concert. Let's give it our best. We got lots of time to recuperate afterwards. You know, so, and we were lucky because about 95% of what you hear is the real thing. I mean, you know, you have to go in and overdub where there's feedback and stuff like that. You go for better stuff because you want to give fans quality and not an album that sounds live, chaotic, and horrible to listen to. This, you know, Long Stick Goes Boom live album is almost like a studio album, if you like. Right. But of course, the energy is different. And what we're happy about is that it was such a magical night, and we managed to capture the spirit of what live KROKUS is all about, of what people used to say about us during the 80s. And that's why we went from being an opening act to special guest to headliner in the USA and Canada. You know, it wasn't just because we come from Switzerland, you know.
Yeah. And I have just one more question, because looking back in the last 10 years, you've had chart success in Switzerland, in Germany, in Greece, Sweden, Austria, France, but they're all European countries. What's the plan in terms of the United States and Canada? Are you coming here on a tour? Are you going to show? I mean, what are you going to do for this market? Are you?
Well, I mean, us musicians, we can't do more than stay in contact as much as possible with our fans through our website, krokusonline.com, and so on and so forth. Doing these interviews. Hi, you fans out there, we haven't forgotten you. You know, the USA and Canada are in our blood. We had to pay our dues, you know, blood, sweat, and tears in our history. And so it's in our system. You are in our system, you know, and we will never forget, and we're thankful till today, and we would love to come back. The economic situation has not made it possible, but people are working their ass on it, you know.
Good. That's good to hear.
We have Paradise artists in Detroit, you know, Mark Hyman, and our End Records team, and they're trying to get something together for either end of 2014, or we celebrate next year. We celebrate our 40th anniversary. 40 years of KROKUS. My God.
Unbelievable.
And if we can't make it this year, then what better year to come over than the next? You know, that would be so great, so emotional.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Well, Marc, this has been great. Thank you for your time, and of course, I encourage everybody to pick up Long Stick Goes Boom live from the House of Rust, and of course, I encourage them to pick up Dirty Dynamite, Hoodoo, Hellraiser, and everything else that's in your catalog. Quite frankly, support KROKUS.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, let's keep our fingers crossed and hope we can come over. That would be a great thing. Really great.
Yeah, I think some North American live KROKUS dates is a definite must. And,
definitely.
And Marc, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today. Thank you for everything.
Same here, Mitch. Thanks a lot, and rock on.
Thank you. Have a good day now.
You too. Bye-bye.